I'd like to call November 18th City Council meeting to order. Let's have the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Fruin?
Here.
Councilmember Mohan?
Here. Sorry, let me repeat that. My microphone was off. Councilmember Fruin?
Here.
Councilmember Mohan?
Here.
Councilmember Wong?
Here.
Vice Mayor Moore?
Present.
Mayor Chow?
Here. Do I have any closed session report?
Good evening, Mayor. There was no closed session this evening. Thank you. No report.
Great, thank you. And we have 4 ceremonial items. The first one and 2 are 2 proclamations we have presented at the Veterans Day last Tuesday on the Veterans Day. And I am putting the proclamation on the council agenda so that we have a record of these 2 proclamations. The first one recognized members of the armed force and their armed forces veterans and their families. So, yeah, I think it's very important for the city to recognize that every year. I'm really grateful for the former city council member and community members who donated dollars so that we can establish a veterans memorial in Memorial Park, and really grateful for the organization who have been hosting the Veterans Day. And on the same day, we usually also recognize the first responders, which include the law enforcement officers, firefighters, and the paramedics. And therefore, I prepared a separate proclamation. These are the people who put their life on the line every day, either at home or abroad. So and their families are also have sacrifices for us, so I'd like to honor them. And then, but then they are not here today because we presented them last week. The third proclamation is recognizing the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. This is the war that, to date, there are probably the largest number of civilian life lost. And so in this proclamation, we are trying to put everyone who suffered from war so that we remember all the damages that could be caused. And then that's call for an enduring peace going forward. And I believe we have a few organizations who are receiving the proclamation.
Yes, Mayor, we have a group of 4 coalition organizations that are present to receive the proclamation. Global Alliance for Preserving the History of World War II in Asia. We have representatives Jennifer Chung and Ignatius Ding. Also, we have the Comfort Women Justice Coalition with representatives Honorable Judge Lillian Singh, Honorable Judge Julie Tang, and we have the Alliance for Preserving the Truth of the Sino-Japanese War with representatives Ling Lee and Kathy Sang. We also have the World War II Pacific War Memorial Hall organization with representatives Betty Yuan and Deborah Zhao.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the proclamation is on the council agenda. Took me a long time to finish that up, trying to cover all kinds of atrocity that happened during World War II in various countries, and including Europe and the Holocaust. So I think we really need to remember that we don't repeat any of these, but we should also remember that these kind of suffering were caused by a few people fascist, and those people, we are all people that I should have written up a speech, but this is all in the proclamation. So I think we all live side by side in the United States, wherever we come from, and we should remember whatever happened in the history happened under the hands of those fascists. But in United States, we are neighbors, we are friends, and we live side by side peacefully together. And we hope that the world will also live side by side peacefully together from now on. Thank you. So let's take a photo. Oh, okay.
Okay, if we may have our organization guests join the council on the stage for a photo and presentation.
Oh, yeah. So, I can use that.
So we're going to append the recipients. The recipients in the middle, we're going to append.
Council members, we could do like we did at Crestwell, on both sides, and then I'll bring you over here. There you go. Let's get the whole group over this way a little bit.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's so nice to see you. Thank you so much.
And thank you very much for doing the work. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Next, we have the recognition of November 29th as the Small Business Saturday. The city proclaimed that day as a Small Business Saturday, and as part of the celebration next week, I'm excited to announce that we have the official launch of Cupertino Business Resource Hub, a new tool designed to support and empower local entrepreneurs. This hub will provide resources and guidance and connections to help small businesses grow and thrive in Cupertino. And we also have a 40-second Small Business Saturday promo. Let's play that.
Yes, video, please cue the the short video.
Local businesses Local businesses are the pulse of Cupertino. We create jobs, drive economic growth, and contribute to the vibrant culture that makes Cupertino special.
Shopping at small businesses in Cupertino helps sales tax stay right here in our city to fund local infrastructure such as roads, parks, and essential public services.
And don't forget, shopping locally helps us build a stronger community. When you're supporting us, you are supporting your friends and neighbors.
Shop small.
Shop local. Shop Cupertino.
Shop local this holiday season, starting with Small Business Saturday on November 29th.
Thank you, City Manager, for kicking this off.
The way.
So, and I think the small business, to support small business, and will be our focus for this year. And this is just one small thing on a lot of other things the city manager has implemented. And we have started the first economical development committee meeting, and we have a work program on how to retain and support our small business also. So more will come. Next, we have a presentation for...
Mayor, I'm sorry. I just wanted to let you know that we do have members of the Economic Development Committee that are present. So we have Manjari Asawa, Jennifer Yip, who is a small business owner of 2 Cupertino businesses, Paint Nail Beauty Spa and Sense Head Spa, Tracy Solcheron, Selena Kang, who is their vice chair, are all available to receive the proclamation and take a photo with council, if you so wish.
Awesome, thank you. So who choose Cupertino to be home, and we really appreciate that you are a part of our community and really improve our quality of life.
Mayor, I did also want to mention Daniel Degu, who is our economic development manager, as well as the liaison for the Economic Development Committee, was also present tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Okay, and then the second meeting of the Economic Development Committee will be in December. So if anyone is interested, you should attend that, make your comments, provide your ideas on how we can improve our vibrancy of our business in Cupertino. Next, we have a presentation from Emergency Operations Center overview. City Manager, yeah.
Thank you, Mayor. We have Jim Frawley, who is our consultant helping us with emergency management and disaster preparedness currently while we conduct a recruitment for emergency manager. I believe Ken Erickson is also present, so I will, is Ken?
Yes, he is in the lobby, so if I could
Ken will
ask a favor of
join us.
staff. I see our Director of Parks and Rec going to get him.
Yeah.
So I will queue up the video in the meantime.
Thank
I will
you.
be sharing my screen.
Yeah, and when Ken's here, Jim and Ken will take it away, and it's a 10-minute presentation on our EOC readiness.
There we go. Madam Mayor, members of council, my name is Jim Frawley, and I appreciate the opportunity to present to you EOC readiness for the city of Cupertino. Ken, you want to? I think everybody recognizes and knows Ken, so.
Good evening. I am Ken, emergency. I'm the coordinator of the Citizen Corps, which is the amateur radio, the medical reserve, and the CERT people. Is roughly 1,000 volunteers that we have here in the they're all residents in the city.
Yeah, and Ken will talk about that at the end of our presentation, and then we'll also take questions. So, as your interim emergency manager, I bring over 37 years worth of crisis and emergency management experience. My last engagement was for 5 years with a private company, small company known as Meta. Prior to that, I spent 30 years plus in the fire service and retired as the fire chief for the city of Santa Cruz. So give you a little context of my background. As it relates to the presentation tonight, I'm going to talk about the Emergency Operations Center and the who, when. It looks like it's on a automatic advancing thing. That's okay. This is part of emergency management, right? So within the emergency operations, I wanted to cover 5 things, right? The when, who, where, how of an EOC and how it functions. And so when would we activate? We activate the EOC here in the city of Cupertino or at any city that I've worked in when a situation gets large enough, right? Something big happens and we need to support the community or we need to support the first responders. That's when we do it. We don't do it all the time. We do it when the need arises. And there's 3 different levels of activation. There's a level 1, which is the highest level. So think something big, earthquake, major fire, something like that. And we need to actually support the community. The way we support the community is by organizing all of our resources and all of our efforts in the EOC so that then we provide messaging, we provide guidance, we provide sheltering or care, comfort to our community, as well as any resources that either fire or law enforcement or public safety need. It's all right, Kirsten, I don't need it. We'll be good. We can send the presentation to all of you afterwards. And then if you got any questions, you can always channel through the city manager to me, and then I can assist in providing answers to you. There are 2 other levels within the EOC activation. There's a level 2, which is a little lower level, right? Don't think earthquake, but think maybe something to the effect that you've got an extended period of time where there's going to be disruptions within, like road closures, things like that. And we need to provide support to those first responders or, again, messaging information to the community. We could do that at a level 2. And then a level 3 is sort of like a monitoring. Like we know big rains are coming or something. We might open to a level 3 so we can lean forward a little bit so that we have a shorter reaction time. So that is when we would activate. Who is the one who does the activation? That would be the Director of Emergency Services through an ordinance that you have here within the city of Cupertino, and it's designated as the city manager as the Director of Emergency Services. So she would, or her designee, would
Recording in progress.
activate the EOC, and many times it's in collaboration with other, like maybe Ken or Kirsten, or they might call me, just to make sure, like, okay, what level, why, what is it, so that then when we do activate, she would be able to then communicate to all of you that the EOC is activated, why we're activating it, how we're going to support the community, because we know that as elected officials representing your community, people are going to reach out to you immediately. They're going to want to know, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? How are you supporting us? And when we activate, especially in today's environment, we need to provide that information to you right away. And so that's the intent of having the conversations where Tina would reach out to me and say, hey, this is what's going on. We talk about it, and I say, here's the talking points that you can give to the council so that you don't feel like you're behind the curve. So that was the when, the who, the where. So the city of Cupertino has a primary EOC, which is over at the main sort of city hall complex. It's also the old council chambers. And it is, in my estimate, it is a warm EOC, which means that it is set, it's established, there's things that it's pretty easy to get it up and running, which is nice. Most places, most cities, this size and even larger, don't have a warm EOC. So it's nice that you actually have a space. A lot of times people have to convert like a lunchroom or a community room to an EOC, but having something that is readily turned on is always a nice thing to have, because the quicker you can provide that support to the community and messaging to the community, the better you're off, right? And it's the right thing to do. The other place, the alternate EOC, is located at the courtyard or at the service center, and that is more like a lunchroom that you can move tables in and you sort of get things up and running. There you would have like an EOC in a box, where you would break out the boxes and you start putting it. It takes a little bit more time, that's why it's the alternate, but it is important to have an alternate. And I actually like that it is a little bit away from here, because if this area was impacted, hopefully, ideally, that area wouldn't be impacted, right? So that's why you want to have some separation between places. It's good to have them in different buildings at a start, and then a little bit different geography is good as well. So that's the where. And then the last part, I think, was the who. So who, in the slide deck, when you get it, you'll see that the who talks about, like, how is the EOC organized, and how is the emergency management organization structured? So what is that framework? And there's two ways that I like, or two things that I like to describe in there. So there's the way we organize things from a holistic perspective, right? From the ground level all the way through the federal level, right? And so all emergencies are local. And so it is our responsibility as a city government that emergencies that happen here are within our responsibility. Now, for Cupertino, you have Santa Clara County Sheriffs and Santa Clara County Fire as your primary first responders. And so they will, for the most part, in every instance, take care of things. House fire, it's taken care of. Small brush fire, taken care of. Law enforcement action, it's taken care of. Those things are all taken care of. That's not our responsibility, that's their responsibility. We would come in to help them if they required additional support, or if the scale was big, or if our community members were being impacted. So anyways, at the local level, we have this sort of duty to act and provide assistance?
So
Oh, I see. You've got something. You got to back up.
I can manually
Yes,
push it through.
Yeah, and we budgeted 10 minutes for this presentation.
Yeah. Am I at 10 minutes?
Yeah. I think you are at 6 minutes.
Okay.
So you want to
I
be
have
conscious.
like one more slide to describe. I know I'm only allowed. That's all right. So the way it's organized is you've got Cupertino as the next layer above that, right? So the first layer is first responders. The next layer up is the city of Cupertino. Then you've got the county, then you've got the state, and then you've got the feds. Within the EOC, we follow the incident command system of organizing. It's also SEMS as well as NEMS. So SEMS stands for the Standardized Emergency Management System, which is California law. And then NIMS, National Incident Management System, is a presidential directive, right? So under all of those different structures, we here in California have created the different EOCs and structured it in a very I'll just say organized way. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. Thank you.
That one?
Yeah, go to the next slide. And the next one. And the next one. There we go. So the way the EOC is structured is in 4 main sections or branches, right? You've got operations, planning and intelligence, logistics, and finance. Everywhere in the US, this is how EOCs and incident command are structured. And the beauty of that is that it allows us to be able to understand each other across borders, across states, across departments. And so in the EOC here, we have the potential to fill each of these different bubbles. We don't, on every incident, do that because we only fill the spots that we need based on what's being presented. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide, Kirsten. Oh yeah, go like 6 slides forward since I'm short on time. Yes, keep going. One of the key things within the EOC, like, okay, we got all these people in there and they're all doing the work. How do we organize this work? And we organize it through a process. And I teach this process all across the state and all across the US. And I just say believe in the process, because what it is, it's a series of meetings. We call this, if you look at it, it's a P, we call it the planning P. And it's a series of meetings that causes us to come together and cooperate and collaborate. Through this series of meetings, we take something that's very chaotic and we make it manageable. And we break it down into different objectives. So the next slide, Kirsten. Oh, okay, we're good. So this process allows us to organize things around specific objectives. I think many of you have heard management by objectives and SMART objectives. We identify what work needs to be done. We clearly articulate that. We put that into a game plan, and then that way it gets everybody pointed in the same direction, working off the same playbook. And this is done everywhere within the world. When I was working for Meta, I found out that whether you're in Singapore, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in Dubai, everybody organizes things this way, which has worked over and over again. Go ahead and go to the last slide, Kirsten, because I want to give Ken at least 30 seconds to talk about community preparedness programs.
Great, thank you. In the expedited mode. So this, I think, is probably one of the biggest pieces that we need to have with the EOC. And you talk about what the city's doing and how to respond to different events. One of the major things that we have as a community is to have our residents, the businesses, everybody prepared and understand what the expectations are that they can receive from the city and what their roles are. And so our big part of here is being able to talk about what is it that people can expect and what do they need to know? What's the gap? Because if you're planning on something, if you don't know what's being done and what the gap is and how you're going to be able to take care of your your family, yourself, your family, your neighborhood, your business, your school, your place of worship, whatever it is your organization is, if you don't understand what those gaps are, you're not going to be able to really have a good plan on why I should be doing something. And so this, I think, with the community and the outreach and that, we've got 60,000 people and residents. That number goes up to 120,000 sometimes during the course of a day. So the impact on what the city needs to do and be able to respond to is going to be greatly affected by what we have the residents prepared for and how they respond, how they take care of themselves, how do they take care of their family, their neighborhood, and then be able to get information about what's going on. How do they get further information so they're plugged into what's going on and being worked on through the planning P that you just reviewed. And that's the type of thing that we need to be working on with the community preparedness and the community outreach. And we do that in multiple different levels. And I'm just kind of surprised when I look at the picture, who's that guy with the shiny head back there? And it kind of distracted me. And I was like, who is that? Okay, any questions? I'm sorry, kind of fast.
Okay, thank you so much. We don't normally do questions, but I think it's rare we have this presentation. I'll entertain some short questions. Yeah. So anyone has questions? No? Actually, yeah. So we have just recently had a disaster council meeting. That's on the video recording. There were some presentations that everyone can go and watch. I do have a question that maybe I can take the answer after this is how do we collaborate with businesses since you mentioned 20,000 workers would be coming in during the day. So I will get that answer later. Okay, thank you very much for coming. Thank you. So next, I believe we have oral communication. Oh, postponements of the day. We have one item, the appeal of a business fee by a local business, and we will be postponing it again to the next meeting when we discuss the business license policy. So may I have a motion to postpone?
I so move.
Second.
Let's vote.
The motion carries unanimously.
Okay. Next, we have oral communications. City Clerk, would you please introduce the item?
Recording in progress.
Yes, Mayor. We are having a little technical difficulty with the Zoom, but it's just very intermittent, and it restarted right now. So oral communications, this portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wishing to address the council on any matter within the jurisdiction of the council and not on the agenda for discussion. The total time for oral communications will ordinarily be limited to 1 hour. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes. As necessary, the chair may further limit the time allowed to individual speakers or reschedule remaining comments to the end of the meeting on a first-come, first-heard basis with priority given to students. In most cases, state law will prohibit the council from discussing or making any decisions with respect to a matter not listed on the agenda. A council member may, however, briefly respond to statements made or questions posed by speakers. A council member may also ask a question for clarification, provide a reference for factual information, request staff to report back concerning a matter, or request that an item be added to a future city council agenda in response to public comment. Mayor, I currently have 5 requests to speak from in Community Hall, and on Zoom, remote, I have 3 remote requests. So
likely 6.
Approximately 27 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so that would approximately 30 minutes. I see one additional person. Okay, so we have Mark Fantasi, followed by Anand Shatpar, followed by Dennis Whitaker. Thank you. Welcome, Mark. Anyone?
Fantasi. I want to address the concerns that we have here at the city and in our local neighborhood. We have been systematically removed from any input now regarding housing in our city and our local neighborhoods. The recent attack is now SB 79, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with, and which now we have the same tools that were used to block many developments over the years, creating this problem, has now been removed from our use as local neighbors to challenge some of these absurd projects that are being planned for our community. What is really happening here is not really about housing. It's really more about how the state wants to fundamentally change how our communities are developed. And I think that's a serious problem that we all need to address here. And it doesn't make any sense, as an example, of why this YIMBY or these groups sue to block a development above Linda Vista Park in a densely wooded area in a high fire risk zone with a never-ending insurance crisis that is not being solved. We have to address this problem before we continue on this path of unfettered housing projects. There's a high-rise condo in downtown San Jose that's empty. Coyote Valley remains undeveloped, but the state is giving unfettered access to some of the highest priced areas in the Bay Area to the builder's lobby. And this is going to be, the outcome of this is going to be killing our neighborhoods over time. There's historical precedence for that. When you look at the New Deal and how the inner city ghettos were all developed, they were all developed with the expectation that it was going to be an improvement. But it's not. The best way to solve the problem is to have local people engaged in it. The state has eliminated that completely, almost entirely. So what I'm asking for those people who are listening, for the city, is for us to take back control of our community and support the Our Neighborhood Voices initiative that's currently being planned. And I urge everyone to go on and check their website to see what this is all about. The serious consequences are going to come about if we continue down this pathway. And it's erroneous to think that anything is being done, because after 10 months of the Palisades...
Thank you. That is your time.
I'm done?
Yes,
All right.
yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Just a reminder, anyone wishing to provide comments, please submit your request in the next 6 minutes. Next, we have Anand Chatpar, followed by Dennis Whitaker, followed by Brooke Ezett. Welcome, Anand.
Thank you. I'm Anand Chatpar. Honorable council members, thank you for letting me speak today. I'm a parent at Tessellation's school. My daughter is 9 years old and started going there this August. And I want to share that we moved here to Cupertino from San Francisco for this school. And it has been a tremendous improvement and a remarkable experience. It has changed our lives for the better. My daughter gets to study every subject at her level. She wanted to be here today, but she is actually participating in a math competition, and she's on the school team, so she couldn't make it. But before I came here, I asked her, what do you want me to share with the people there? And she told me two things. One, that at her previous school, she never got a chance to actually learn all the things she wanted to out of her curiosity. And she was separated out and shut off because she was just asking questions that were too advanced for her age. And here, she's actually encouraged and given a platform to do that, and actually it has allowed her to go into like middle school math at a 5th grade level, which is amazing. And the second thing she wanted to share was that the community here has been super kind, and she has made more friends in 3 months here than in the entire 3 years she was at the previous school. So she's found her people. So the school here has done such a great job of collecting exceptional young people together, and I think a lot of future leaders of the world are going to come out of this. So I just wanted to share my enthusiasm and happiness of having made this transition and change in my life and become part of Cupertino. And my wife and I are founders. So earlier when you mentioned the small business thing that you're doing on November 29th, it happens to be our wedding anniversary date. I was very excited about that. I'm going to go look that up too, because we are business people, and we want to contribute to the community more. So thank you for letting me speak. I appreciate the podium. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we have Dennis Whitaker, followed by Brooke Ezett. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you very much. As co-chair for the Veterans Day, I want to thank the mayor for her speech and her proclamation. I want to thank all the city council for coming. I want to thank the city manager. I want to thank the city clerk and the city attorney. You guys were awesome. I am very, very grateful you showed. I'm a member of American Legion Post 642, and I'm announcing to everybody in our community our local annual Wreaths Across America event on December 13th, Saturday at 10 o'clock at the Gate of Heaven Cemetery off of Foothill Expressway. This invitation, again, is for everybody. The event is a solemn and beautiful event and usually only lasts for an hour. Wreaths Across America commenced in 1992 when the Worcester family of New England, who was in the wreaths business, brought 5,000 wreaths to our National Cemetery at Arlington, Virginia, and laid 5,000 wreaths. The following year, 300 locations participated. The Wreaths Across America has a mission of threefold. Number one, remember the fallen. Number two, honor those who have served. And number three, teach the next generation of the value of freedom. In 2015, a community member, Mike McNutt, a Marine, encouraged our American Legion Post to commit to the annual Wreaths Across America event. At the same time, 1,100 cemeteries across the nation did as well. The wonderful ceremony came about thanks to the Post members, the Gate of Heaven staff, Cupertino, Rotary volunteers, and Scouts of America. Last year, there were 4,909 cemeteries that volunteered. December 13th will be our 10th year, and I would like the city to officially recognize December 13th honoring the Wreaths Across America. On a personal note, Penny and I moved here 51 years ago. 54 years ago today, I finally came home from the Vietnam War. It was a good feeling being home. I had been in the jungle for 6 months, and then I became a general's aide. 3 of my platoon members were killed 4 days after I left the field to become a general's aide. And Lieutenant John Gross took my place on the mission that I was supposed to lead, took me off the helicopter by my company commander, and he went on the mission. 10 minutes later, he died. So I'm proud of the men with whom I've served and grateful to the fallen heroes. I deeply honor those who served in the military, period. And please, I invite you all to come again. As a lot of you know, especially Kitty and Sheila and the mayor, our donuts, and JR, our donuts are really good, and so is Starbucks. So please come, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Next, we have Brooke Ezett, followed by Helene Davis and Gilbert Wong, followed by Ling Chen. Welcome, Brooke.
Thank you. To start with, I want to thank the council, specifically the mayor, for issuing the proclamation about the end of World War II. It was an appalling loss of human life and human potential, and those people mattered. Secondly, I wanted to talk about food insecurity. Food insecurity in the Bay Area is probably at an all-time high, and the Cupertino Lions are sponsoring a food drive at the Lucky's off of Grant and Foothill Expressway from 9 to 6 on Saturday and then from 9 to 12 on Sunday. And they'd appreciate food, money, and time. There's also another chapter at the Food Max on Lawrence and El Camino. They'll be there Saturday and Sunday. And there's another food drive with another Lions chapter at Lenardi's in Los Gatos, and they'll be there all day Saturday. What they need, besides turkeys and the regular fixings, are rice, canned veggies, meat, mac and cheese, oatmeal, pasta, beans, canned meat, soups, and stews. So if you can donate time or money or food, I'm sure they'd be grateful, and it would help a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke. Next, we have Helene Davis and Gilbert Wong, followed by Ling Cheng, followed by Rhoda Fry. Welcome. Will you be consolidating your time?
Yeah, I think I'm going to do all the speaking.
Okay.
He's just standing here.
So you could have up to 4 minutes if you're consolidating your time.
We'll be quick. Good evening, Mayor Chow and all the city council and staff. I'm Helene Davis. I'm the president of the Cupertino Sister Cities Association. I'm here with Gilbert Wong, who is the vice president of the association. And we have some news. For various reasons, we cannot do our exchange with St. Joseph's of Cupertino next year. So we are pivoting to Cupertino Union School District. And we just would like you and folks out there to know that we're going to have an informational meeting on December 2nd at 6 p.m. in the school board room, where the school board meets. That's on Portal Avenue. So anyway, we just want to get that information out there. It's open to 7th and 8th graders in CUSD, and they do need to have a valid U.S. passport in order to apply. So thank you very much for your time, and I think that's it.
So this is a great opportunity to any students that attend the Cupertino Union School District. That's all of Cupertino, South Sunnyvale, parts of Los Altos, Santa Clara, Saratoga, and Santa Clara. Even though we are pivoting from St. Joseph, this is an opportunity for the Cupertino School Board. This is just a public announcement that you have to attend the December 2nd meeting at 6 p.m. on Portal Avenue, and this is a great opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Helene and Gilbert. And next we have Ling Cheng, followed by Rhoda Fry. Welcome, Ling.
Good evening. Excuse me. Good evening, Mayor and Council members. I'm Ling Cheng, also a parent at Tessellation School. It's an honor to speak to you tonight. So we joined 2 years ago for our son. He'd always been joyful and social and thrived in a Montessori preschool, but he had some issues at a traditional public school in a different city. And we saw that it was affecting his well-being. And since joining Tessellations, he has thrived. And he has many friends who he loves to talk about everything from books and history and stocks and math and fantasy worlds, music, such a variety of things. He's found his intellectual peers. And we think that Tessellations really nurtures this culture and love of learning. And our daughter joined as well, and we see that being united every day. And we originally lived 40 minutes away in Burlingame. Like Anand, we also moved here to be close to Tessellations because my husband and I worked mostly remotely. We first moved to a rental house, and then after we got to know the school in Cupertino, we made the big decision to sell our house and buy a house here, walking distance to the school. And although we moved here to be walking distance to the school, we feel that we have found the community that we are missing here. We've made so many friends. Our son's good friends include a few neighbors who attend the local public schools, and they're often biking around on the bike-friendly streets. The Tessellations campus in the evenings is a happening spot, less now that it's dark, for local preschool kids or older kids and from a mix of schools around the neighborhood, and you can see them all playing together. Our kids play at Jollyman Park, they swim at Dhaka, they go to Sifu Mung's on Dianza for Kung Fu, they take gymnastics lessons at Sweet Peas near Monte Vista Park, and we have membership at Blackberry Farm for swimming. So we really love the city, and we are very grateful and thankful for everything that it provides, especially for families. We were worried about moving further from my parents who live in Pacifica, but after we moved here, they liked it so much that they moved in with us half the time. My mom became a tree lover here and can tell you about every tree in the neighborhood, and actually has a somewhat viral Chinese social media account with many photos and descriptions of the trees around here. I can share it. We have older neighbors who just stop by to talk, especially like about the tech industry 23 to 30 years ago. We love doing that. Our street has a WhatsApp channel where people post about extra fruits or vegetables from their garden. Anyway, we are so grateful for the city and community. Our kids will grow up as part of this city together with the neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Rhoda Fry, and then we will move to those members of the public requesting to speak virtually. Welcome, Rhoda.
Hi, good evening. I'll be using the overhead today. I'm glad that we have a new city manager who's already starting to set things straight pertaining to our certificates of participation, which are kind of like muni bonds, but they don't need a vote from the public to take on debt. I started looking into problems with how our debt has been managed since late 2023, as had our current now Vice Mayor Moore. We have a big mess to clean up, and I have been raising issues since then here and at the Audit Committee without much improvement. You can learn about these COPs, certificates of participation, and municipal bonds on a website called EMMA, the Electronic Municipal Market Access, under the Municipal Securities Rulemaking Board. Cupertino created a corporation called the Cupertino Facilities Corporation in order to sell the debt. But the city failed to properly take care of our corporation. From about 2012 to about 2020, there were no annual meetings, as corporations are supposed to have. The state of information to the state was delinquent and pending suspension since 1988. I have that on overhead right now. So, and then yesterday I reported a problem with the current SOI, which is here, which when you have changes of the leadership, you need to update it. And guess what? I reported it, and it happened. So kudos to our new city manager. Thank you very much. The other issue we had is that we lost our nonprofit status with the feds. The city has worked toward repairing that. However, we still have a gap from 2017 to 2023. So does that mean the income that our investors are getting from these certificates of participation, are they now taxable? We refied our debt in 2020, and a consultant got a lot of money to do this. Why didn't they notice these problems? Now, another thing is, like regular corporations, our corporation has an annual report. It's called the ACFR. Cities have ACFRs, which is a little different, but similar. And it must be posted in a certain time frame. And we have been routinely delinquent. And even one was posted that was never even reviewed by the city council. That's not okay. And then when the city faced troubled waters with the CDTFA, with the state, with the Apple agreement, there was no note to our investors, and I think there should have been. Finally, our certificates of participation are tied to leases of public property. The ACFR prospectuses and the APNs have been inconsistent in this regard. With our new management on board, I'm looking forward to all of these problems being rectified timely. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhoda. Next, we will move to those members of the public requesting to speak virtually. There are 4: Ranjan Desai, Aref, Aditya, and Sanrao. Welcome, Ranjan.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening, council members. Good evening, council members, mayor, vice mayor, council members, and city officials. Thank you for letting me speak on this issues of the Mary Avenue villas that we recently came across that it's going to be a consent item here. I think item number 16 for the sale of this Mary Avenue, that land which is where the project Mary Avenue villas are going to be built. We were all surprised about that. We had, this was actually not supposed to happen, and we are protesting that. A lot of people had joined in a couple of weeks back, and so these things have to be discussed in public, and they have to be not done
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Ranjan.
in a consent calendar.
I would like to ask our city attorney to clarify if this is related to an item that is on the consent calendar regarding Mary Avenue sale of property.
Yes, is it there?
Madam Clerk, I haven't been able to actually understand the
Okay,
detail.
so Ranjan, there is an item on the consent calendar specifically related to appointing negotiators, real property negotiators for Mary Avenue. So if you are speaking about something different.
So this might be a good opportunity for the city attorney to clarify what is the scope of the item that's on the agenda, and anyone who would like to speak on that agenda item should limit the scope to that agenda item. And then anything that's not within that scope, they can comment in the oral communication. Yeah.
The consent item being discussed, I think it's number
16.
Number 16. It's specifically to appoint negotiators. That means we're not talking about the details of a potential deal in the future or the methodology of land transferring. It's specifically to vote on appointing potential negotiators for a potential action in the future.
So Mayor, I believe if he's speaking on anything besides
Other than
that,
the
then he may
negotiator,
continue.
then he may proceed. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ranjan. Please continue.
Yeah, thank you for letting me do that. So if I understand properly, then this is going to be on the Mary Avenue law specifically. I think that's my understanding. If I'm not, please correct me. So this item number 16 was put under, for this Mary Avenue Villas project is what I was.
But if you are referring to, excuse me, if you are referencing item 16 specifically, you cannot speak at this time. This time is only about item that's not on the agenda. Item 16 is appointing negotiators for Mary Avenue. So if you would like to speak on that, then you cannot comment. You can comment about other issues with Mary Avenue, vacation, surplus land, these other processes. If we have received comments about those.
Okay.
So will you reserve your comments
Okay,
for
all right,
item
sure.
16, Ranjan, or will you continue speaking under oral communications?
Maybe I'll just go ahead and complete whatever time I have left here, and then see what I'll leave the rest to the for the council members to decide on what should be the appropriate thing to do. So I think we have already discussed this many times individually with all different council members as well as issues here. So I think what I would like to just add on is this project has to be looked into again in detail. It should not be put on a fast track, and you need to do the traffic studies which are supposed to be doing I think underway. So we should wait for that, and we should look at all the different aspects before proceeding further. I think that's all I have now for now. I think everybody is aware of the issues, and hopefully all the council members will decide depending on their the concerns that we are proposing here. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Aref, followed by Aditya, followed by San Rao. Welcome, Aref.
Hello. Good evening, respected mayor and council members. My name is Arif. I'm calling to
I think we lost your audio, Aref. Okay, I will mute you, Aref, and I will come back to you at the end. Hopefully your audio issue is resolved. So next we have Aditya, followed by... we're having some Zoom issues. Our Zoom just crashed, but it
coming back.
Resumed. So it may have been us that lost connectivity.
I lost it too. I'm logged into Zoom.
Yeah, I'm lost.
So,
Mayor, we were told by IT that there was an outage earlier, so it could be coming back up shortly.
Recording in progress.
There we go.
okay.
Okay, I see Aref has his hand raised, so I will call on you. Let's see. I'm going to request that video call on Aref. I have no option to unmute. Do you have that capability? Mayor, we're having some technical issues with the Zoom. I'm unable to see the controls to unmute people. So just give me one moment while I attempt to repair it. And I may ask for a recess, Mayor, while we can figure out how to resolve this issue.
Okay,
That's
so
appropriate.
let's take a break.
Yes,
and
please.
then we'll come back in 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So we may resume. If you so wish, I can ask Aref to resume his comments.
Okay, so maybe we should make, I think probably the Zoom has been intermittent tonight. There seems to be some internet issue that's beyond our control for the whole nation right now, it seems. So in case we lose again, I think if you stay on, it will come back. So in case we lose, I think I would say let's just we take 5 minutes break and then we will try to come back. I would rather not cancel the meet. I would rather not cancel the meeting in case it's intermittent. Yeah. And yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, but if it comes to the case when we actually will not continue, then we will decide that later.
Yeah, and just to make clear then that if it becomes intermittent, we'll take a pause and we won't conduct business while it's intermittent. And when it comes back, we'll begin conducting business again.
Yeah.
Okay, Mayor, so we will resume oral communications. I will call on Aref you have 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. Aref?
Yep, I'm here. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yep. Give me a second. I'll start. I don't know at what point I lost the communication, but I'll go off of my script. It should be less than 2 minutes.
Okay, if that's enough time, that's fine.
Yep. So, good evening once again, respected mayor and council members. My name is Aref. I'm calling to express my concerns over the proposed villas on Mary Avenue, as well as the process that was used to come as well as the process that is being used for this. I'll explicitly talk about the process. So as per the supplemental report, it says that the city used exemptions to bypass normal procedures, to call the parcel surplus or exempt surplus. This was not noticed to the public, and this was not put on any council agenda. No proper information on this was given to the public or the council. No council vote was taken explicitly to approve the use of this exemption, and this may be a violation of Towns Act. I humbly request you to allow the opportunity for the council members to have a discussion and allow public for comments. This would thus ensuring that there is a transparency during the whole process. Thank you.
Thank you, Aref. And next we have Aditya. Welcome, Aditya.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I am a 25-year resident of Cupertino, love the city, have 3 kids who've gone through the school system. One is in UC Santa Cruz, one is in Berkeley, one is a Lawson Middle School middle schooler, and she wanted to be here today, and she was there at a Mary Avenue Villas protest that we held, I would say a couple of weeks back, and she was the one who has inspired me because of our excellent Cupertino School District, which teaches our kids how to think for themselves and speak for themselves. And at next council meeting, I would like to bring her there because she's the one who inspired me to speak up against this. The issue is safety. I think others have already brought on other issues, but I really want to focus on safety. What are we trying to do here? I mean, without proper comment, we are narrowing the streets so that safety becomes a serious issue for my kid who's biking to Lawson Middle School in those lanes. I don't want to have a situation where the mayor and the council members of this esteemed city have, I'm sorry to be dramatic here, but I will, have blood on their hands because we did something so dumb that there was a compromise to the safety of our kids living in the community. Cupertino is one of the best cities in the United States for kids and for families. And here we are destroying that. We put in the green bike lanes, and what are we doing now? We're narrowing that section of street where things can get really nasty. I have 10 other colleagues who I represent as well from Microsoft who are around in that Glenbrook Avenue area. And we are all appalled by the lack of, I would say, public comment and understanding of this. And I think given what's happening at democratic norms throughout the nation, I think it's time we speak up and we are vigilant about this. So we really, my ask is, please look at this process and be rational. There's a lot of legal things you can do that may be legally okay, but they're not okay when it comes to what our city is all about. So do not impact our kids directly in such poor ways. We should have a transparent process, and it should be in the best interest of the city. Put it to a vote in the city, There's a lot of, the fact that you see a groundswell of opposition is just the tip of the iceberg. Please, I would really request you to please take this issue seriously. This is the one issue that has got us all, speaking about this. So I would suggest take it seriously. Thank you for your time and consideration, and hopefully we can resolve this without further discussion.
Thank you, Aditya. Next we have San Rao. Welcome, San.
Good evening, Mayor Chow, Vice Mayor Moore, council members. Speaking on behalf of myself only as a resident, I do want to firstly point out that the supplemental items have disappeared from the agenda page. So as of this moment, the desk items seem to replace the supplemental items, which is no longer accessible for reference for residents that wish to refer that in order to make comments. So flying a little blind here without the specific reference to the supplemental memo that was posted by the city attorney. I want to ask council about how and who is directing the decision making around some of the decisions that we have been informed about. Firstly, on July 15th council meeting, I spoke about the dangers of using a ground lease and the financial and legal obligations that come with a ground lease when the city may be in fact still responsible. And I spoke about past precedent case law that actually did rule against the agency, the public agency in the past. That was on July 15th. On July 19th, I sent you a written comment on the same. And since then, I have sent in at least 2 or 3 written comments on the fact that the ground lease is not something that the city should use due to reasons of obligations. I'm therefore very pleased to see that you have acknowledged that, albeit indirectly, and chosen to move away from the ground lease. I think you should be transparent and candid and come out in the open with an open session study item that really expresses why you made this change, because it is not a trivial change. This change is a change from city owning the parcel to city selling the parcel. And that is not a trivial change. Who made that decision? How was it made? Because the 5 council members amongst you on dais did not vote on this. And staff cannot be making these decisions. And the public needs to be able to have input on these decisions. So you need to really look at how are you enforcing decision-making and making sure that these decisions don't happen by staff overreach behind closed doors in the absence of direction from council on dais. Secondly, it has been brought up before that the right-of-way was not vacated. Residents have gone to the county assessor's office and looked at the track maps and verified that. And in response, a supplemental memo, which is not accessible now, mentioned that a certain exemption was taken in order to do that. Who made that decision? You need to reveal to the public as to who made the decision to use an exemption, because it was not agendaized, it was not called out on dais. And finally, you're making an attempt to move forward while the land has not been deemed surplus or exempt surplus. And once again, there were reasons given for that. And again, who made that decision? So there's a number of Brown Act questions that are coming up here. I urge you to not continue down this path, and please pause and hit the reset button and start over. And all 5 of you need to take financial and legal obligations into account. Thank you.
Thank you, San. And Mayor, no additional requests to speak.
Okay.
That within the 9-minute cutoff limit.
Was the 9 minutes before the interruption? Or
Yes, it was.
It was before the interruption. Okay.
Yes.
So it's 8:07. So next we have the consent agenda item. I believe and anyone would like to someone will pull item 16, right?
I believe, Councilmember Wong, I believe you also
You
pulled
still
item
want to
13.
pull 13?
And 13, yeah.
So 16 and 13. Okay. So may I have a motion for the remaining items?
Motion to approve the remaining items in the consent calendar.
Okay. That will be item 7 to 15, except 13.
7 to 12, 14, 15.
Okay.
Need a second.
I'll second that. Let's go to public. Oh, we should do public comment on the remaining item first. Yeah.
Oh.
So any public comment on the remaining item?
Mayor, I see 2. So for the speaker that had for the requester to speak under item 16, that per rule has been moved after the action calendar, as well as item 13. I see 1 hand raised virtually, Mayor, from Aditya. Welcome, Aditya.
Clarification, is this comment for item 16 or for 2, or from 2 to 7 and 15?
This is for any comments on items 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15 only. So
Okay.
item 16 has been moved to after the action calendar per the council procedures, because it was pulled by a council member for discussion. That is to say, removed from the consent calendar for consideration by council.
Are we allowed to speak on item 16 after discussion, or will it be put to vote before discussion?
You would speak when the mayor opens item 16 for discussion later on in the evening, and once the mayor has opened the public comment period for that item.
Okay, I will give up my time right now, and I will speak at that point for item 16.
Okay, thank you. And next we have Peggy Griffin. Welcome, Peggy.
Thank you. Mayor Chow, Vice Mayor Moore, council members and staff. I just want to speak to it's the accounts payables, that since Jonathan Orozco has been hired, they have been consistent, regular, and the postings have not been all over the place. It seems like invoices from consultants are coming in regularly. We don't see these year and a half back items. And so I just want to say thank you. It's easier to follow the finances when we get regular reports. And I appreciate his efforts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Peggy. Next we have San Rao. Welcome, San.
Good evening, Mayor Chow and council members. I'm speaking again on accounts payable as well. And I want to reiterate and echo comments made by another member of the public on previous occasions, which is we are starting to really run the bill on our contract with the city attorney. And I'm asking you to please be judicious in how you're spending on the city attorney's time. There are things such as the legislative review committee that are new, and particularly on items that are outside the jurisdiction of the city, where we're starting to really spend on hours billed for the city attorney. It is time for you to really hire a city attorney. And as much as I appreciate everything that our current interim city attorney is doing, it is time to make the role permanent, because we cannot afford to spend over $1 million at the current run rate on the city attorney. We do not pay our city manager that, we do not pay our department directors that, and it is unfair to our other staff leaders that we spend 3x what we spend on them on the city attorney. So firstly, please be mindful of the hours you bill up. This will come up later in the agenda again. And secondly, please start the process to replace the role, and hopefully our interim city attorney will be under consideration and will consider that role. But you do need to make someone permanent and stop the spending at the current run rate. Thank you.
Thank you, San. Mayor, no additional requests to speak on this item?
Okay, thank you. I forgot to make a comment on. We do plan to have a study session in early December on Mary Avenue. So there will be a time when we will sort out the procedure issues that everyone has brought up. Thank you all for writing in. And tonight's item, item 16, that will be after the action calendar, will be specifically on the appointing negotiators.
And Mayor, do you have an oral report to read for items 15? Prior to adoption?
15. Oh, I think right now council members are allowed some short comments on the consent agenda item. So item 15 is the appointment of Tina Kapoor as our city manager. So I apologize that the contract is not in the in the council agenda, but that's often the case because a lot of times the negotiation was still underway. And so as soon as they are ready, they have been supplied as the supplemental report. And I think everyone has had an opportunity, not everyone, many residents have had an opportunity to work with Tina, and she has proved to be very responsive to residents' concerns and will take action to address issues and really are listening to people of all voices and really have served the city well. So I think we are happy that we are able to reach an agreement. So City Attorney, yeah.
I believe there's also a statement that you make orally in the chambers about the compensation for the city manager.
So I need to make a statement. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, yeah, there is a specific statement. So in accordance with Government Code Section 54953C3, I'm providing an oral summary of the recommended action. Item 15 before the council tonight is to approve the employment agreement for the city manager position effective today, November 18th, 2025. The proposed base compensation is $327,000 annually, effective November 18th, 2025, and the total annual compensation is $459,657, inclusive of fringe benefits, payroll taxes, and the retirement contributions. Additional details regarding this item, including the agreement and the associated resolutions, are posted on the city's website in the same location as the meeting agenda under supplemental reports. But the supplemental report link is not there.
Mayor, it was just fixed.
It was fixed. Thank you for fixing. Okay, yeah. I see. So there is one link for supplemental report. The desk item is included in that.
I'm sorry, the supplemental report, it was provided last night.
Yeah.
And it does include all of the attachments listed in the staff report, including the draft agreement and the resolutions and the draft red line and clean versions of the memorandum of understanding for compensation.
Great.
Mayor, I only have one comment on item 11. So
Yeah.
I was just going to say that's a good thing to use the Riverside agreement for EAs for Microsoft. That's probably one of the lowest cost structures for the state. So it's a good thing.
Thank you. Any other short comment?
Yes, Mayor.
Yeah.
So first,
Vice Mayor.
thank you. So I'm really excited to see Tina Kapoor's.
Council Member Fruin.
Okay.
Before you. So, yeah.
Just a quick note to congratulate Tina Kapoor. We're a noisy bunch, so I'm not sure whether I should be congratulating you or offering you condolences, but it's a big job. Welcome aboard in an official capacity.
Okay, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. So once again, I'm very happy to see Tina Kapoor step into the role as the city manager. You've been a steady guide for the past few months, and you are a strong and quiet force. I do want to comment on consent item 12, the Treasurer's Investment Report. I'm really happy that we have the new internal cash flow model that is going to project monthly cash flows and outflows. This enables the city to maintain a lower balance in its operating account while still meeting operational needs. And the model also incorporates expected seasonal fluctuations in major revenue sources and expenditure patterns. And that way we can basically receive higher interest rates on our funds in the future. So this is really an excellent new new process that we have. So I'm really excited to see that, and I think it marks some of the things that we're going to be seeing in the future with our new city manager. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think the council has asked for that since one member of the public reported that they have seen the city was keeping almost $60 million in cash account. So thank you for the member of public to bring that up the issue. And then I think thank the staff for taking steps since then to come up with a better plan to manage our cash flow. So any other comment on city manager? Yeah.
Mayor, if it's okay, I prepared a short statement.
Yeah.
Do you want to vote first? Okay, vote first.
Okay. Make it formal first. So let's vote. Oh, we have a motion on the table, right?
Yeah, we're voting on that.
So if Councilmember Wong moved and I seconded the remaining items.
So
We'll do that later.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yes, that is correct. Councilmember Wong moved, and Mayor, you seconded.
Mm-hmm.
So I will start the vote now.
Yeah.
And the motion carries unanimously.
Okay, congratulations. We now have a city manager, Tina.
Thank you. I prepared a short statement, and I just want to read it, even though I'm reading it, it's coming from my heart. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as your interim city manager since May, and now appointing me as the permanent city manager. I appreciate the support that all of you have provided to me since my appointment, and I look forward to continuing the work I've done to improve communications with council, with staff, and with the members of the community. I expect that the permanent appointment will provide this opportunity for me to deepen my work with all of you and to advance our long-term goals, to consolidate the organizational improvements that I have started. I'm so grateful for the confidence that everyone on the dais has shown in me and the support I've received from so many people, including city staff, including our community members, and of course, my family. Over the past months, I've had the pleasure of working with our incredible staff, our community partners, and residents. Cupertino is a special place. Innovative, passionate, and always striving for better. And that energy is contagious. Thank you again for your trust. We've got important work ahead, but we also have an amazing community to do it with. I'm excited for what's next, and I'm honored to keep serving the city that I love. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So next we have the item 13, 16 will come after item 19, after the action calendar. Next we go to item 17. City manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 17 is to introduce a new fee for the ministerial lot split applications as a result of SB 9 and SB 450. And to present this item, we have Ben Fu, the Director of Community Development, and Luke Connolly, Assistant Director of Community Development.
Okay. Thank you, City Manager Kapoor, Mayor, members of the City Council. This item in staff report is probably the shortest one I've written since I've been here and seemed fairly straightforward. So there's no PowerPoint or fancy presentation to go with this, so I'll try to just keep it brief to summarize. The action is a request to set up a new fee for ministerial lot splits, which dates back to SB 9 passing in 2022. I think as the staff report pointed out, prior to this time, all subdivisions were discretionary actions, that meaning they went through some type of a public hearing body. They would either be parcel maps, which meant 4 lots or fewer, or tentative and final maps that would be 5 lots or more. So SB 9 created a ministerial process that had not existed prior to that time. It's been in effect since January 2022. The first couple of years of this, we never got any lot splits. This is essentially, R1 homeowners that could have created a separate lot. The SB 9 did other things, but that's what we're focused on here today. So the first 2 years of this, we received no applications. We finally did in 2024, none of which were actually processed really till 2025. We've had a total of 13, I think 6 of which have been approved, 7 of which are still under review. There was also another bill, SB 450, that went into effect the beginning of this year, which essentially streamlined SB 9 even further, making it something that's more like a checklist and operating within a 60-day window. So it's condensed what would have been a more involved process through subdivisions. Concurrently at this time, starting 2023, the city had a comprehensive fee update going on. So it looked at all of planning, building, citywide, all of our fees were reassessed. That was adopted in May 2024. So a lot of this, there was considerable overlap. As I said, we hadn't processed any of these ministerial permits during that time. So when we had done the fee update, these just stayed lumped under a parcel map fee, which was pretty typical since they were only 2 lot splits. One thing we have had a chance to find out, though, as we've done more applications, and the fact that this is not a discretionary process that involves the preparation of a staff report or presentations, is that there's less time being spent on the ministerial approvals, which makes sense. So, like all of the fees that are in place, they're really based on the amount of staff time or service delivery provided. The city governments are supposed to cover costs, not exceed their costs. So that's one reason we brought this forward. It wasn't on the city work program or anything else like that, but being aware that we need to kind of keep the costs aligned with the actual staff time spent to do the review. That's why we took this before you tonight. So the request then is to have a fee that treats the SB 9 ministerial process differently, because you do have fewer staff hours being spent on it than for somebody who's going through a more typical subdivision. Again, as I'd said, this was all based on staff time, as all the estimates were in our fee schedule. The estimate we have based on what we're seeing for the ministerial lot splits is about 33.25 hours of staff time, almost equally divided between planning staff and public works staff. All of these are estimates. You could have an application that takes much longer or much less time, but based on that, the current parcel map fee for the fiscal year 25-26 is a little over $30,000. Based on the staff estimate that would be in place if you were to go forward with this new fee tonight, it comes down to $10,885. So it's a significant reduction. That's really the rationale behind this, though, is that we're trying to get the fee more in line with the staff time spent. There could be other reasons for supporting a fee, such as providing missing middle housing as well, by having this fee more in line with the staff work involved to process it. So that's really all I had. Again, I hope the staff report could answer any other questions, but those that it doesn't, I'm happy to answer what I can.
Okay. Any question on the item? Councilman Mohan?
Thank you for the report, Luke. I just wanted to commend the staff for making the effort to look into this and aligning staff hours put into this and coming up with a conclusion that should make all of us happy. So it's a substantial reduction in the fee, and I appreciate your work.
Thank you. Any other question? I do have a question. So when we looked at the fee schedule, we had percentage of recovery for different category. So for this suggested fee, it's 100% recovery based on your estimation. I know it's average.
It would be close to 100%.
So it's close.
Close to 100 or very slightly under. I know when we did the fees a year and a half ago, the cost recovery was a goal of doing that. And I believe the building, planning, and public works, all of those departments had really high recovery rates from like high 80s up into the 90% recovery. You know, not 100, but actually pretty close, particularly building and public works.
So this current estimate is close to 100, but not because planning fee usually is not 100%.
That's true. Planning fees, some cities can be about 2/3 recovery. 80 to 90 is typically pretty successful for planning departments. So this fee, we just tried to estimate based on actual hours spent.
So far. So are we looking at for next year, maybe you will keep tracking the actual hours spent, and then we might adjust based on that?
I think we could keep tracking because, again, we've only had 13 total applications at this time. It's just that in the first two years, we hadn't had any at all. So it made it really hard to differentiate from the parcel map fee at the time we were working on the fee schedule. I think now that we know this, 13 is not a huge sample, but it's something. So I think we could continue to track how we're doing on this application.
Yeah, thank you. Ben, you had something to add? No?
No, I think Lou covered it. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Mayor.
Thank you. Any other question?
Mayor,
Oh,
point of order, the
Zoom.
Zoom crashed.
Uh-oh.
Zooms out. Zooms out. So.
Is that what you were going to see?
Yeah. I'm watching the Zoom. So.
Oh my God, it's not coming back.
So we'll take
So
a
we'll
break.
take another 5 minutes break. Do we have any other option to record it even?
No, Mayor, I'm afraid not. If you agendize the meeting with remote public comment, it has to be available.
And a phone call will not suffice?
Unfortunately, no. The Brown Act is very clear.
Welcome back, everyone. Just a short announcement. We are adjourning this meeting today, November 18th, due to some AV difficulties. This is not the city system. Our understanding is that there's a broader outage that is affecting our Zoom functions. And since the meeting was noticed as Zoom participation being allowed, we have to adjourn this meeting today. There will be a special meeting called by the mayor, most likely on December 1st. We will notice it ahead of time, and the remaining items that we did not get to tonight will be heard at that special meeting. So stay tuned, and we apologize for this interruption, and we'll be back soon with the special meeting with the remaining items. Thank you, and have a good night.
Yeah, and I think city clerk has a comment about the public hearing that will be continued.
Yes, Mayor, I will post a notice of adjournment of tonight's meeting, as well as a notice of continuation for the public hearing for item 17, which council was in the middle of considering. This will be posted in the same location as tonight's agenda.
Okay, thank you. So now the meeting is adjourned.